So I'm going to explain today a very important part, that is air pollution. So you have seen in your previous class, the pollution is the condition due to which different toxic substances are present in air or land or water, thereby making it poisonous or dangerous for the living beings, is called as pollution. Today I am going to explain about the air pollution. So air pollution is basically the contamination of air. So air pollution, it may be defined as the making of air unhealthy unhealthy and dangerous for living beings, unhealthy and dangerous for living beings due to presence of various substances. So this is the statement of the air pollution. So children, air pollution is caused by large number of factors. Air pollution is caused by large number of factors, and human beings, urbanization, industrial revolution, industries. It is the culprit of the air pollution. Culprit, because we all human beings are totally responsible, nothing else, nobody else. So first is I'm going to explain the factors responsible. So I'm going to explain about the factors responsible, who are responsible for it. So first is the human activity. So as I have said, humans are the culprits for the air pollution in different forms, like uh, thermal stations. Thermal stations means the electric power generations where coal is used, gas is used to produce the electricity. So human activities, all the human activities, all the human activities are completely responsible, completely responsible for air pollution. Completely responsible for air pollution. Examples are vehicles. We use scooter, we use bike, we use car, train, aeroplane. So children, it is totally due to burning of fossil fuels. You all must be knowing fossil fuels: diesel, petrol, kerosene, petroleum gas, aviation oil. So all are responsible. So point is that we cannot say, if someone says that what is the use of no, if they are polluting, then there is no use. You must use bullock cart. But see, the bullock cart is not a solution. It will take, very large time period, and so it's not possible. So point is, we must give a thought on the clean sources of energy, rather the aeroplanes, the cars, scooters, bikes, motorcycles running on clean fuel, or the fuels which causes less pollution. We may use for or go for e-vehicles. All the countries are planning on e-vehicles, car, scooter, motorcycle, all can be run on battery or electricity. So they will contribute to less pollution. So vehicles, homes, fires, fires in forest. Fire in forest is also responsible. The persons who live nearby the forests, they do so. They promote fire because they want a clean area, clean field for the cultivation. Totally. And they do so. They cut the trees. They clean the trees. The persons who are illegally involved in this business of wood, timber, they prompt them to cut down the trees. So, homes, fires in forests, factories, factories are also this. All the factories they produce lot of pollutants which are responsible for the air pollution. Factories, then thermal power stations. Thermal power stations. In thermal power stations, coal is used. Mostly coal. Coal is used to boil the water. Steam is produced. Steam is used to run the turbine, and from there the electricity is produced. Nowadays, in some places, gas, natural gas is also used. So, natural gas causes less pollution. Natural gas causes less pollution because natural gas is burned completely. Coal, petroleum, this they do not cause less pollution, they cause more pollution because they produce different types of pollutants. Like coal, coal on burning, it produces ash, ash, rock, then it produces several gases like carbon dioxide, then sulfur dioxide, nitrogen dioxide. So these gases, they are highly toxic. These gases are highly toxic and they are poisonous. If we burn diesel or petrol, now diesel and petrol, they produce CO2, then SO2, NO2, NO, several gases are produced. So they contribute a lot in increasing the air pollution. Then we burn the wood in our homes for heating, for cooking. What happens? Wood also produces carbon dioxide, etc. They are highly toxic. This oxide of nitrogen, these oxides of nitrogen, they are actually produced inside the engine of automobiles. And NO2 and NO, they are produced by the engines of the automobiles, because you all must be knowing inside the engine the temperature is very high, and in our atmosphere around 78% of nitrogen is present. So nitrogen is taken. All the vehicles, they require air for the burning of fuels, and they take up air. Air has the oxygen, air has the different gases like nitrogen, hydrogen, carbon dioxide, all are taken, but very little amount of oxygen is present. So due to high temperature, due to high temperature, the nitrogen is converted, nitrogen gas from air, it is converted inside the engines. Inside the engines, it is converted to NO plus NO2. So thus they are toxic. That's why government has made compulsory to use a special type of converters in all the vehicles. So these can be minimized by the use of catalytic converters. Catalytic converters are a special type of metals like molybdenum, tungsten. Their plates are inside the silencers of all the vehicles, and that's why we go. You all must be knowing. We go for the regular checkup of our vehicles, two-wheeler, four-wheelers, at the service center. So they check. You all must be knowing that pollution control department of transport, they have the pollution control standards. So you go for pollution control certificate. So the persons, they have the computer, they have the software senses the presence of these gases. The person, you all must be knowing, they have some sensors, rod-like structures. So the person inserts the rod in the silencer, and he said to start the vehicle, and then he records on the screen of the computer, and so the person gives you certificate or tells the tuning of the vehicles. Kindly go for the tuning of vehicle. You go to the mechanic. You say, kindly tune my vehicle. So the mechanic tune the vehicles. The tuning of the vehicles is done, and in tuning, the proper condition is taken so that there should not be any gas which is NO or NO2 or toxic gases are produced, and this we can add. Like we burn the plastic, we burn the plastic, we burn the thermocol. So plastics, polymers of different kinds, polymers of different kinds, they produce several toxic gases. They are highly dangerous. They are highly dangerous. So this is the children about the human activity, and so human activity is very much responsible for the all the pollutions, air pollution, etc. Now, second is natural reason. Nature also produces some toxic gases. Number one is sulfur dioxide. Sulfur dioxide. Sulfur dioxide is produced during the volcanic eruptions. You all must be knowing, in some parts of world volcanoes are active. So volcanoes have the sulfur, and the volcanic eruptions releases different gases. So produced in volcanic eruptions. Well, so then the sulfur is burned and it produces this. Similarly, CO2 produced by decomposition of organic matter. All the organic matter, garbage, when decomposes, it produces carbon dioxide. It produces methane. It produces hydrogen. All are produced. So they act. But no, nature is good creator, good absorber. So actually, these gases they are automatically consumed by different ways, like rain. So when it rains, these gases are dissolved, and then the gases they are taken up by the earth, by the soil, and different salts are produced in nature in a moderate amount. But due to increasing population, due to population explosion, nature is unable to balance these gases. Nature also produces oxygen also, but now oxygen is not balanced. As a result of this, forests are being cut down. There is lot of excessive cutting of forest. So there is deforestation. So due to deforestation, the trees are cut down indiscriminately, rather without any giving thought. And as a result, there is lot of pollution, and there is no check on the pollution. So children, on this basis, there are two categories of the pollutants. Two categories of pollutants. So air pollutants, first is SPM. SPM stands for suspended particulate matter. Suspended particulate matter, SPM. You all must be knowing. Whenever daily in the night there is a television broadcast on news, so news channels they provide this. SPM, suspended particulate matter, means the small molecules of the solids like unburned particles of carbon from the factories, from the automobiles, which are discharged in air due to incomplete combustion, is called as SPM. So these are unburned particles of fuel discharged from factories, vehicles, etc. So you all must know from the factories, smoke comes out. So have you ever noticed or have you tried to observe why smoke is produced? So smoke is produced due to presence of unburned particles of carbon. You know, when we light gas stove in our home, we get the blue flame. But when we burn a candle or we burn a diya, we get yellow flame. Why? Because yellow flame is due to the scattering of light rays by the particles of carbon. The unburned particles of carbon of the oil or the candle or the ghee, they are able to reflect the light, and hence we get the luminous light. Luminous means which having the tendency to illuminate something. So it is the SPM. So SPM comes from different sources. You know, running of vehicles can be there. Then it can be due to the dust from vehicles, then from the due to wind. When there's a very strong wind, strong is blowing, so there's the pollution. Lot of wind carries lot of particles of the dust, sand, and as a result we are at problem. This is one. Then CFC. CFC stands for chloro. Chlorofluorocarbons. Chlorofluorocarbons, they are the synthetic compounds. They are the synthetic chemical substances, synthetic chemicals, which are used as aerosol, in sprays like painkiller spray, then deo spray, mosquito. So earlier on, just I have written, earlier on they were using chlorofluorocarbons, but nowadays all the government throughout the world, they have banned use of CFC. So CFCs were used to compress a larger volume into a small. You all must know it. So you all children must have seen on the bottles of any spray. It has been written now. It is mandatory to write. It is CFC free. Kindly see if you have this any spray at your home. You all must having the due. So go through it and see. Notice. It is written. It is mandatory to write down CFC free. So CFC free is there. Then chlorofluorocarbons are also used previously in the refrigerators and air conditioners. CFCs were also used. CFCs were also used earlier in compressors of air conditioners and fridge. But nowadays, throughout the world, it has been banned. Nowadays, CFC has been banned. But now CFC has been banned. And it is because CFCs are responsible for the depletion of ozone layer. You must know ozone layer. It protects Earth from the dangerous effects of the sunlight. So CFCs are responsible for number one, depletion of ozone layer. So ozone layer is present top. It protects the earth by the harmful effects of sunlight. Sunlight is made up of different components, and one is ultraviolet. So UV, ozone layer protects, ozone layer retains ultraviolet rays from sun. Ultraviolet rays are very much dangerous. They cause skin cancer, they cause aging, they cause a lot of problems. So this is about the CFC, and then the different parameters to control the air pollution. So pollutants, children, are very much dangerous air pollution, and because all the plants, all the animals, they depend on the air we respire, all go inside our body, and it becomes the part of our system, and we are then infected by the different diseases, and as a result the air pollution is very much dangerous, and we are at always in the problem because it goes inside our blood, it is dissolved in our blood, and throughout the body it moves. And so as a result, we are always in a condition of threat. And so, similar in case of plants, you all must be knowing, whenever you pass by any this road, highway, 4 lane or 6 lane, the small plants, the plants, they are dying because in between the roads, they plant the trees, but the trees, poor trees, they are almost dying. This is best example. The growth is stunted because of excessive pollution. Nobody wants to check the pollution. Just they do the formality, just normal, condition is there. So then we feel nausea, vomiting, and so air pollution is very much dangerous. And so in the next video, I will explain the this tragic effects of air pollution, how air pollution has become integral part of our system in our this modern life. And so this is all about the basics of air pollution.